All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And it appears that everybody is in agreement right now that there was a Superman screening yesterday, and there has been a lot of talk about the reactions to this showing. And I'm going to show you the good, the bad. I'm going to show it all that has been being talked about on social media. And I'm going to talk about what I think is actually happening here. And I really don't think it bodes well for DC, and I don't think it bodes well for the fans either. I really think this movie is in trouble. I really do. And this is why they have been so quiet with everything. If they were confident in their product, I really think at this stage we would be bombarded by Superman stuff and things would be in full force. And it's simply not like that. And now there's even a rumor that we may not even get the trailer at the CinemaCon, that it may come on Superman Day on the 28th, and that would be like 2.5 months before the film gets released. Like, this is not good. They are hiding this film, and we haven't seen much of Superman at all. This is not a good look. But let's look at the stuff I have grabbed since yesterday. Now, I am going to get into some spoilers with a couple of these photos, and I will let you know if, what I'm about to talk about might contain a spoiler if you want to go into Superman spoiler-free. This I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are. This is not a spoiler, but there is one thing in regards to Jimmy Olsen, in regards to the Superman movie, that would be considered a spoiler, and you may not want to know. I'll talk about that when we get to it. Hopefully I grabbed that photo. I might not have. If I haven't, I'll talk about it at the end. But this was the first thing that I grabbed. This comes from Jeff Snyder. It says there is reportedly a massive surprise cameo in Superman, described as the biggest one of the film. I personally think that this is going to be Batman. I do fully believe that right now that James Gunn is writing a Batman-Superman film, World's Finest, and I do believe he's going to want to cast Batman. And so if he's in the film, he's going to cast him. I do believe that's going to be the big reveal. I don't know that for certain, but that's what I'm assuming, especially with James Gunn talking about he's already writing a script for a follow-up to Superman that is not just a Superman film. So I do believe it is the world's finest film. And I think he's going to go stupid silly with it. I really do. So here we go. DC Film News did this morning report that Superman had a test screening last night. And we're going to look at what people had to say in regards to this screening. Now, I posted this on social media yesterday. This is, I forget her name. It's like the engineer or something like that. I'm not familiar with this character. I don't read The Authority, but I do know she's supposed to look silver, not like a human. And people are like, well, James Gunn has talked about in the Authority movie, she'll look more like her character in the comics. Why does she not look like her character in Superman? So James Gunn has never portrayed a DC character the way they are in the comic books. He bastardizes every single character he gets his hands on. And it's not a good look. This is one of the reasons I don't want him in charge of DC and why he has to prove himself with Superman. I'm not just going to accept that it's going to be a good movie. All right, so here is the first official quote from Superman. And you're going to find that there are different groups of people gravitating towards different quotes from the Superman screening. But this is the first one that made the rounds, and everybody who's on the positive side is saying, look, everybody loves it, everybody loves it. But we're going to see the reality of what some people are saying. Now, this came from Daniel RPK, which I don't know how accurate he is with his information, but some people say he's ultra accurate. But this DCU Hype posted, Superman has a very positive screening last night. Had a very positive screening last night. The quote from Daniel RPK is that people loved it. But Daniel RPK did come out and say some other stuff as well. So this is also what Daniel RPK did say, and I know this is a little blurry because I had to pull it off of a little picture. This is also what he said in regards to the Superman screening. He said, I can't reveal any spoilers yet, but will say one thing. It's not going to be for everyone. Movie is like a series of shorts. Very episodic, no real plot. And then he said, yeah, it's just Superman is facing one challenge after another. So it seems like Superman, maybe that first teaser trailer was going to be a true representation of this, that Superman is being beat down the whole film and maybe never really gets to be Superman. Like, if that's how this is going to be, that's going to get very, very annoying. But let's look at what some other people said. So My Time to Shine Hello said the reaction to the Superman test screening was decidedly mixed. Some people thought it was okay, some liked it, and others didn't. Now, what's missing from this is nobody has said that this is amazing. And this is the challenge of this film. This film can't be okay. It can't be, I liked it. This has to be a massive hit for Warner Brothers, and it doesn't look like that is going to happen. And they clearly said others didn't like it. Here is another quote. We don't know if this is true or not. He said, this person, Arbin Folstead, said, something interesting happened. I met a friend who knows someone who watched a screening of Superman. He said the guy told him one thing. When Superman showed up in his suit, a lot of people in the audience laughed and giggled. People thought it was supposed to be a joke. It's just the way the suit, I just don't like the suit. It's terrible. Here's another quote from viewer Anon. Just to keep expectations in check, the response I heard directly from Warner Brothers was decidedly less glowing than Daniel's original post. Not to say it went terribly, but it's a decisive film with a particularly silly tone. Some people click with it, some seem to bounce right off. So again, this kind of goes with what My Time to Shine Hello said, that nobody loved it, but that the film is pretty decisive and has a silly tone. And this is what I was afraid of from the beginning. A silly tone? That's not going to work for this. It is not going to work, but it seems like this is what we are going to get. All right, guys, so let's talk about this realistically here. The only really positive post that has been shown online is from Daniel RPK. We have other people like the Anon person and also My Time to Shine Hello who told a different story, that some people liked it, some people thought it was okay, and then others just simply did not like it. It sounds like everything was across the board, and that I tend to think that that is a more realistic approach to the viewing, and unfortunately this movie cannot be those things. It has to be an amazing film that people are going to gravitate towards and is going to get the general audience excited, and I don't think Warner Brothers is going to be able to pull this off. Here's why. We've already heard, and it's been confirmed by James Gunn himself, that there have been some additional reshoots that he never has to do. Now, some people are going to come out and say those are little pickups, this and that. Do you really think James Gunn is going to tell you if it's something big? Absolutely not. He is going to mitigate the damage control so that it doesn't seem like a big deal. We have several reports from people saying it sounds disjointed. The movie has this disjointed feel, like it's a bunch of shorts, that there's no cohesive plot. And if that's the case, that isn't good. They may have had to chop this thing up so much that this is going to be incoherent to the audience. And I really think they've screwed up with this. I really am having that feeling at this stage that this is seriously not going to go the way they expect it to go. I really think this is going to be something horrible. And the fact that we have not seen Superman, really anything of him yet, we haven't heard him really speak other than asking his dog to take him home, this is not good. Nobody can claim that this has been amazing marketing. It doesn't matter how many views that trailer got. There's no dialogue in there. You know nothing about the movie. You cannot base how popular this movie is going to be based off of that teaser trailer alone. You just can't. I'm looking at stuff realistically based off the fact that we don't have any marketing for this film. It's the only marketing they've really done is behind the dog. We only have those 2 promotional shots from Superman himself. If you want to count the backpack as a third, but that's it. We haven't seen him as Superman really do anything other than that flying scene that got beat up by everybody online. Everything has been scrutinized, and I just don't think that they're prepared for this. It sounds like this movie is a mess. And if we go back all the way to the beginning, James Gunn swore, he had time to work on this. He had more than 2 years to make the perfect film. 2 years. And here we are 3 months away. They're having test screenings and having to redo things. I don't know, guys. This sounds like the Titanic is sinking. Those are my thoughts on all of this. What do you guys think about this new news? What do you think about the screenings and what people are saying? I think it's more skewing towards the negative side than it is the good side. I just don't see this ending well for Warner Brothers. I just don't. I think hiring James Gunn was a huge, huge mistake. I don't want it to be silly like Peacemaker. I don't want it to be silly like Creature Commandos. I don't want it to be silly like Suicide Squad. Superman had to have a different tone, and it doesn't sound like they were able to pull it off. All right, guys, I hope I'm wrong. I hope these reports are wrong, but I don't think that's going to happen. But we'll see when the movie gets released. Hopefully we get some promotional material soon and they start hitting the ground running, but this is not a good look. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next video.